You know how it is in sports. It's always on to the next. It's Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin presented by Progressive Insurance.
Oh, Key's not celebrating that Lakers loss last night? What?
Man, come on, man.
The sack?
Stop,
I'm
man.
sorry.
Short-handed.
All that, man.
Sorry.
Big
I wanna
spot
say
last.
it.
Buddy Hield.
just
Do
went
not
front.
underestimate Buddy Hield. Okay?
Man, you're a New Jersey Net fan.
What?
You're a New Jersey Net fan.
That's okay. I know where I came
A
from.
couple finals appearances. Not bad, right?
Yeah.
New Jersey Net, not Brooklyn Net, New Jersey. The big
See how he
difference.
tries to disrespect our state, Zubin?
No disrespecting the Cleveland Browns. Kevin Stefanski is going to join the program this morning at 8:10 a.m. We had a chance to catch up with him recently. But one of the major questions that Jay posed to him was obviously, what is the future, financially speaking, of your quarterback? And much like a great quarterback, Stefanski slid out of the pocket and passed it on.
Yeah, I'm lucky in that I have a really good general manager that gets to worry about those things. But I will tell you, I mean, obviously, Andrew and I talk about all of our players and all of these things. But I'll just tell you that all of these decisions, it's a business, but things take care of themselves. It works itself out. And we're just going to focus, or at least I'm going to focus on the day-to-day. And as it applies to Baker, I know he's going to do the same.
Much more on a potential Baker extension here in just 1 minute. But again, an hour and a half, we're going to have that interview with Stefanski. So if you're a Browns fan, NFL fan, stay tuned. Key asked him about Odell Beckham Jr., more on the Baker Mayfield question from Jay. I just asked him what it was going to be like to navigate this whole year. Remember, he got the Browns to the playoffs, and then he got COVID and missed the playoff game, something that never happened before, obviously, in NFL history. Those sort of weird circumstances, but it all ended up with a playoff berth. And again, you'll hear Coach Stefanski here in 90 minutes on KJZ, Odell Beckham, Baker Mayfield, the whole deal. Speaking of Baker Mayfield, we know the deal. The vaunted draft class of 2018, Baker there with the first overall pick, Josh Allen picked 7th overall, Lamar Jackson final pick of the first round at 32. So let's have a little bit of fun here. I want you to sort of size up the fellas. We got 3 guys, Baker, Allen, Lamar, all have earned the opportunity for big money. In fact, Lamar's head coach, John Harbaugh, was one of the 3 that actually publicly came out and said, absolutely positively, Lamar is going to get it. Have yet to hear that. I mean, you heard Stefanski dance around it, and we have yet to hear it from Buffalo's management. So
It did seem like he danced around it a little bit, right?
Didn't it?
It just wasn't me.
it definitely seemed like he danced around.
Fair, Key?
I mean,
he's going to, because you're always going to obviously differ.
It's the off season. It's not his. It's not his position. That's why Andrew Berry's there. So I get it.
I know.
He's a coach. Did you not see his office?
Yeah.
He's a coach.
Yes, if you're watching on TV, you'll notice it's got a very Spartan existence. It looks like just like a coach's office. Once again, that's coming up in about 90 minutes. But really appreciate Coach joining us yesterday. I know it's busy. There's no time off for an NFL head coach. So what do you got?
No, I'll just say I always wonder what what are they doing right now, getting ready for free agency? Like, how long you got to get ready for free agency? It's not like game planning.
Right, less than 2 weeks away, March 17th, start of the league year. And it's obviously a big opportunity here for the Browns to follow up. So a big opportunity for one of these guys to get paid. Baker, Josh Allen, Lamar. So let's just give you 3 guys and 3 options. You heard the 3 guys. Here are the 3 options. One of these guys needs to get their 5th-year option picked up. One of them needs to get that money, needs to get that extension. And one of them, you know what? We're just going to wait and see, almost like a Trubisky. We'll just play it out and see what happens. All these guys have earned it, but let's categorize them. Baker, Allen, Lamar. Who gets the 5th-year option? Who gets the big money extension? And who's got to wait?
I'm starting off Lamar Jackson getting a 5th-year option. I've seen enough of him from day one taking over. He's continued to show progress. We understand what's wrong with the offensive side of the ball for them in the passing game. They've got to get better at that. They went out, and I continue to keep telling and harping on T. Martin and Keith Williams that they've gone out to get these guys, to get these receivers to play in the passing game at a higher level. And we all know that they're going to address the receiver position, whether it's free agency or through the draft. So I think the 5th-year option works there. Josh Allen, you could do it.
Extend him,
you could do it or extend him or whatever and be fine with it. Same thing with Baker Mayfield. But because I've seen from day one Lamar Jackson continue to just get better and better and better all the way around, I like his shot, his
Okay.
chances.
So let me see if I'm hearing you right. You're most bullish on Jackson.
Yes.
So you would actually give him the extension, not the 50.
That's-
You would
Well,
give
yeah,
him
the extension. My bad, the extension, not the
So
50
you're the
option.
most bullish on Jackson. So he gets the money. And let's hear from John Harbaugh, Ravens head coach, on why
I screwed up the game.
No worries. No worries.
I figure so. Right out of the gate.
As I said, only one of these three quarterbacks has had their head coaches publicly vouch. I mean, you heard what Stefanski said about Baker. John Harbaugh, no ambiguity here on Lamar getting big money.
Absolutely, we want Lamar to sign a long-term deal and be with us, and I'm totally certain that that's going to happen. When it happens, that's the details. And that's what we got to figure out. I was interested that report came out the day of the divisional game for Lamar. Aren't there like 4 other quarterbacks that were in that class that are in the same circumstances as Lamar as far as signing extensions? All the guys that got drafted in the first round, there's 5 of them, or at least 4 of them that have been successful, right? So why wasn't that article could be written about any one of those quarterbacks? And as far as the reporter that put it out, he had absolutely no information other than just sources. Well, all those quarterbacks are going to be in line for contract extensions either this year or next year. So kind of a non-news factor, but the timing by Rappaport was pretty interesting.
He couldn't help himself there. He almost got through it.
He almost got.
Almost got
He was
through it.
never
so
going to
good.
get through it. He was
He's so
for
good.
sure
I love
going
it.
to name the individual that put out whatever report. I forgot the report, but put out the report about extensions being signed. Yes, you do extend Lamar. It's not even, it's nothing to really think about.
I know. I want to extend both Josh Allen and Lamar, to be frank with you. But for the sake of playing the game, I would agree with Key. I would extend Lamar. I would 5th option Josh Allen, and then I would wait. And I'm because this always turns into this conversation. I know you said before you would extend Baker Mayfield. Would you do that this offseason? Because I said I wouldn't. I said for me, like seeing what happened with Jared Goff, I want to wait on Baker Mayfield. I'm not sure Baker Mayfield is an elite talent yet. I think he has a chance to get there. I think this is a huge year to determine whether he can continue to really double down on that second half of the season performance that he had this year with the Browns, because he was spectacular. And I want to see him sustain that for another year. And if that warrants him getting really big money, if he takes us to where we need to go this year, then great. I'll pay you. If it doesn't, then it gives me a different kind of bargaining chip.
I think he's shown enough progress under Kevin Stefanski for them to either or exercise the 5th-year option and or extend him all the way out. But he doesn't, just because you extend him doesn't mean that you got to put him in the $35-40 million category.
Agreed. Yeah.
Doesn't mean that, because he is
But if you're Baker, you're going to want that type
I don't
of.
give a damn what you want. Don't mean I got to give it to you.
But
right?
I mean, if for a guy like Baker, if I'm not getting that money, then great. Like I want to bet on myself.
Yeah,
He seems like the guy who's going to bet on himself.
Yeah, I can't keep that.
He's a
betting on
two-time walk-on in college. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. I get betting on yourself, and I believe in Baker. I just think that what Kevin Stefanski and the Cleveland Browns want to do from an offensive standpoint, they can almost do that with several quarterbacks in the NFL.
But he was key. Second half of the season, he was different. He was different. It wasn't just like a serviceable quarterback.
No.
He was next level.
He was
different.
He was good at what they had him doing. What they had him doing under Freddie Kitchens and all those other guys, that wasn't what Baker Mayfield is. I think, again, it always goes back to the way that I like to do things. I like to run the ball well. I like to play defense. And I like for my quarterback to take some explosive shots here and there, and that's it. I don't need him throwing the ball 45 times a game. And so once they got that under control and they saw what he could do from his strength and weaknesses standpoint, he became a better football player. Not because OBJ wasn't there like most people tried to make it out to be. It's just they figured out what suits him best.
Could he be a tier 1 quarterback?
See, and when you say tier 1,
Like I'm talking about the part of the upper echelon crew. Can you see that down the line for Baker Mayfield? Obviously, right now he's not there. Even though second half he started trending.
who's the upper echelon crew though? Like who?
Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers.
See, that's a lot though.
I mean, it's tier one.
Because
Is Lamar Jackson tier one MVP or is he not there yet?
Lamar Jackson is in a different category because he's a special player.
Agreed.
All the way around.
So
So
tier
his
one.
his category is different. You're talking about Aaron Rodgers. I don't mind Aaron Rodgers throwing the football 50 times. I don't mind Patrick Mahomes throwing a football